What's good, YouTube? Today is August 8th, 2021. It's 5:30. We're going to run through a video here, and it's going to be about the cycles. It's going to be about the TBB cycles, what I call total cycle, bullish cycle, and bearish cycle. Guys, this is all the time frames you're going to go through. I've already made the charts a little bit for the simplest things that we are going to need. We're going to go through some support resistances, some moving averages, and let's get right to it. So this is the 8-month chart. We're closing in 23 days. This is really important, the time frame close, which is why I have my calendar open and going to basically fill out the calendar. Okay, keep us up to date with the closes of all these time frames. Very important. Next one is the 5 months, closing in 84 days. 3-month chart, we already discussed this in the last video and how important it is when it comes to Gann's knowledge. Seasonal charts, quarterly charts, 3-month charts, and how we have kept the bottom of it. I also want to take a look at something right now when it comes to the middle point of this. Let's take a look real quick, because I don't know what it is. I just want to see values, prices, put it on the right. So 46,829, 46,829. So 46,829 is about another $1,000 higher. Next is the 2-month chart, guys. We're at the resistance right now of the 2 months. Okay, so it doesn't, and we're closing in 23 days. On a 3-month, 53 days. So keep that in mind. That's how important it is, because the bulls and the bears, they fight for time frame closes, and so that's why it's important to keep an eye on it. Same thing with the monthly chart, same thing with the 2 months. 23 days, 15 hours, and so we have this wick that we're battling, and we also have this this whole range within 23 days. So as time goes into the month, we're going to have a better confirmation if this is going to continue upwards or go downwards. So keep in mind, 23 days. It's really important. So the 8-week is basically the same thing as the monthly, so I didn't really do anything. We're at resistance right here. And so what I did instead is that I put a log scale here, Fibonacci, showing that it went to the 1618. So I labeled it a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5 would basically continuation for 100K. That's your scenario, really, right? So let's talk about continuing with this TBB cycle. And by the way, the TBB cycles is basically a concept taken from Elliott wave theory, specifically Elliott's master works in Nature's Law. So if you guys haven't got that book yet, I would suggest it. I would recommend it. Lots of volume on this one here. This is Binance. Keep in mind, guys, there's dark pools and stuff like that for when it comes to Bitcoins. So a dark pool is pretty much that you don't see what the volume is. So this could be just BS, you know what I mean? So let's continue here. 5 weeks, we have 28 days to close. The 3-week, look how amazing this trend is. We haven't broken any one right here, right? Any low, any low, any low. All the way to the top, and then finally we broke a low, came back up a little bit, and then just dumped. So then we were still in a bear market, and then we came down, and then finally when we broke this one right here, confirmation of a bull trend on the 3-week chart. So then we're still continuing upwards, and then we would have to break the low here within 14 days. 14 days is going to be the important close right here, right? And that's why it's all confirmation. That's where causes, traders entries and stuff like that, that's what it's all about. It's about cause and effect relationships. So that's why the time frame is very, very important to watch. The 2-week chart has 7 days, which is 1 week left to close, and we basically just isolated down all the way down to the smallest time frame that we can actually profit off of with a huge RR trade. So right now we're seeing some good ones, but we want to see reversals. We want to start seeing some loss of momentum, and that's how we basically take a look. So this one here is 46,930 in 7 days, and this is the wick that we're talking about before, and then all the way this range right here, 7 days. So let's go down to the weekly chart, and then we'll go to the daily, and we can go all the way down to the hourlies. But then after, when we get to the low dailies, I'm actually gonna pull up our EMAs and we're gonna take a look at that. Okay, so again, this is the wick. I like this one right here because you have this whole range in 1 week, which is actually closing in 14 hours. So this one's going to be really interesting. I'll make another video tomorrow, another update for this particular account. I love the weekly closes. This is like my favorite day to close. I'm saying 14 hours, so that's today, right? Yeah, so the bulls are going to have to fight not to put too much emphasis on the MACD and the RSI, but these time frames are really important, guys. I believe that there's many algos and bots and stuff like that based on these time frames that I'm showing you. So let's get right to it. You can see that these wicks are serious, right? They're serious candles, and so this was a big bearish candle, and continuation came all the way over here, and now the bulls with 68 days left, right? 68 days left, and the bulls are going to want to keep 38.7. They're going to want to keep that close in 60, so in 2 months. Trying to make that prediction, right? So in 68 days, the sooner, this is how option traders trade. So the sooner we get down to it, the easier it's going to be to predict it. But right now it's a little bit harder when it's 2-3 months, you know. But we can. That's what we're doing right now. We're trying to isolate the trend. So the 89-day chart, we haven't broken the low, so that's a very good thing. Basically a 3-month. Okay. Hope you guys like this video so far, and subscribe if you haven't already. That would be great. Great. Okay, so what else do we have? By the way, this is a bullish cycle number. This is a bearish cycle number that we're going to get into right after this this time frame analysis. Check the 55-day. This one's really, really important. Look, 14 days, which means this candle is closing, guys. This candle is closing, and if it closes inside this right here, it's a breach of a trend. So I mean, we can literally continue upwards, and watch when we start going down to lower time frames. You're gonna see a little bit reversal patterns like this one right here, reversal pattern. But yes, we have to break right here to really be a nice confirmed one. But nah, this is like reversal pattern, like literally textbook candlestick pattern with the 21 as well, like the wicks, and everything's blessed. I mean, taking a look at the 13, I could have used the wick right here, but I used it on the other one, so I said I'll just use the close. But yeah, I like the wicks personally. You can also use the closes here, you know what I mean? The whole thing, basically. But I want to see the most relevant, and these are still relevant, but it's just like, I think there's going to be some resistance right here, just because look where it was. It's just like, so this was like in the past, right? It goes like that, bang, comes back like that. Let's continue 8-day chart. Actually, before I do that, this one's a Fibonacci number. So I'm going to tell you guys my strategy, because I might as well tell you the strategy of the market here, guys. So it's literally based off Fibonacci numbers, man. It's like Fibonacci proportions. And I do have people that are going to help me build bots on trying to build indicators. It's a little hard, and it's easier to do it with on hand. But if you have a bot that you can go on any time frame or any chart, whatever, and it does it automatically, right? So As you can see, this was 8 bars. It was also 34%, which is a Fibonacci number, and it fell right here on whoops, my bad. That's not even the right one. So, well, it was 26%. So forgive me for that. But you'll see how much the Fibonacci's are helpful. Okay, let's continue here. So here's the 8-day chart. This one here was the close. This is the open. This is the wick. And so this is going to be our target basically over here. There's going to be a little bit of resistance right here as well. As you can see, the opens and the closes. Okay. And so continuing on, this is going to be our risk tolerance, about 5% going into this wick. This is the wick. And again, with the time frame closes, this is going to be 14 hours here on the 5-day chart. So the 5-day chart's closing today, and this is why I like this. This is why I like this. So the 13-day is going to be 1 day, 15 hours, and the 4-day, because then you get to anticipate, you get to predict a little bit. So look, 2 big green candles, we can expect 1 more green candle, right? That's basically what we can do. And the next little resistance points that we're going to have is probably this one here or the top right here. So somewhere right here in this node, if I actually put up the volume, this one right here, yeah, we're looking for like this node right here, this bank right here, maybe like this one right here, I'm thinking. So let's go continue downwards. And guys, I can't wait to show you the EMA cycle time frame. This is going to be good, but this video is going to be a little bit longer, so stay tuned. Anyways, this is the 3-day chart. I like the three-day chart because of Gann's rule when it comes to the 3-month, seasonal, and then 3-week, and then we basically go down all the way down to the 3-day chart. So I believe it's the same rules. You can even do it on the 3-hour chart, 3-minute chart, but of course you're gonna get like chopped out a little bit more. But yeah, you can see basically that when we break the top, it's a definition of a bull market. I would probably use it on the 5-day chart because that is the bull cycle chart. But yeah, you would get chopped out a little bit more. That's all. But you'd get in before, much earlier. That's why you want to have a confirmation of both the higher time frames and the intermediate time frames, which is the middle ones, and then this one right here, which is the micro time frames. But yeah, anyways, let's take a look at the 2-day chart. The 2-day chart, we're using the closes, but it's anywhere upon this one. But yeah, let's use the closes for now, and that's gonna give us our signal basically to go onto the exchange and start looking for some good RR trade setups. Of course, we want to see some supply. We want to see some demand coming in the market. Guys, I have another trend line here. One of Gann's rules I'm going to show you guys right now in this video. Take a look at this one here. So I believe that this is a leading diagonal wave that got truncated. And then, of course, if you just put this wave right here, this is what the projection that I'm looking for, okay? So, yeah. In time, right here, so August the 21st, sorry, the 17th, 2021, and also in price. But you can see that we've already surpassed it in price. So really, it's either going to pull back and do something like that. So this is a good expectation to have. Guys, I also have another chart here. It's a really nice chart. I can't draw it right now for you, but it basically shows that a trend line is going like that, and it shows you that this could be a head and shoulder pattern coming upwards. I might have posted it in the Discord. I'm not sure. I don't think so. Not yet. So let us open the cycle EMA here. So first total, and then basically this is a code that I made myself, and it took me a long time to make it. But actually this one here works on it. So this is called the total chart. Okay, the total chart. total cycle chart. Took it all from Elliott Wave basically, but then I made it for my own system, right? For EMA and time. So let's talk about the 2-day chart, but I can even take a look at the 8-hour chart if you guys want. I can go down to the 2-hour chart if I really wanted to, even the 2-minute chart, but to see if we're in an uptrend or downtrend, just to explain to you guys how this works. So above the moving averages, we're in an uptrend. Below the moving averages, we're in a downtrend. Above the support resistances, we're in an uptrend. We could be neutral. We could go sideways in the channel. So and then you basically have 3 or 4 time frames. Okay, so this one here, you can see the trend, right? The trend's kind of we're going up, but it's not the fastest. And then you basically continue the cycle with this one here. So this one goes 2, 8, 34, okay, and then it goes 1, 4, 4. And then you can see that we have a little bit of volatility to go through with the 144. And then if you focus here on the 34, we have a pullback to come to, and we're actually almost at the top right here, which happened last candle. So what you really want to be looking for is the algorithms in the markets, and you want to be following the algorithms in the market. So for example, if this cycle is on for an algo, you have to basically look for this one here and then follow it. So basically what you're going to anticipate as a trader is with tight stop loss. Like, yes, you're going to get stopped out a lot, but the expectation is going to be pretty good. Do I like trading this one? Not exactly, because you're going against the trend. But yeah, because you also have to match up with all your other time frames and stuff like that. So if you're an algo trader, this is for you. This is definitely for you if you're an algo trader. You just have to figure out how to do it, because it does take a lot of emotion and psychology to master the strategy, trust me. But if it's trending like upwards, you can see that the bots have defended it here. This is a beautiful strategy, guys. So take it with the grace, you know. This is beautiful strategy. So once you have to find the right time frames to trade, and then yeah, figure it out. So I want to show you the higher time frames on the total cycle. Maybe I should split these up, these videos up, because it is getting a little longer. But as you can see right now, we don't have any resistance on the top here on the total cycle, so it's literally free sailing right now on the 2-day chart. Okay, let's take a look at the 8-day chart. Still free sailing. We're above all the moving averages. Everything's blessed. 34-day, same thing. You can see that the 8 white moving average had not taken the price, so that's unfortunate that it didn't do that. Maybe it's just because they just weren't strong enough, but they still had the 34 support right there. Like, it just broke through the resistance. And then finally, for the 144, we haven't hit this one right here. But here's the point of the strategy. The point of the strategy in this indicator is that the 8 right here, every candle close, which this one right here is 68 days, it moves to the right. It follows the trend, right? So it follows the trend. This white moving average is going to start pointing upwards like that, right? So you have mass pressure coming up to the market. So it's a possibility that the price goes sideways for, you know, a couple of candles, and then maybe probably actually reaches the top here a little bit, and then comes back down like that. Okay, just because this one right here, this is a big candle that came downwards, but it's going to take probably 1 year for that to happen. So that's a bigger time frame, and if you're an options trader, that's what you want to talk about. You want to talk about the mathematics and proportions of the grids. So it's all about what's your strategy, what's your money management strategy. So let's talk about the 2-week chart. Of course, you can see that it has some great support right there on the 34. You just have to find the right time frames, and say 2 weeks, you know, 2 days and 2 months. Maybe that's the best one to do. Maybe 2 hours as well, or 2 minutes. So cycles upon cycles. But you can see that this one right here, we have a serious resistance on the 2 week that's coming up at 46,930, and it's closing in 7 days. Guys, if it breaks this, it's going to be really interesting because the next one's all the way up here. So let's talk about the 8-week chart. Again, it didn't close underneath it, so that looks good. So it's still uptrending, but we've got that resistance that we were talking about earlier. So let's talk about the 2-month chart, looking good again, but the same thing as the weekly, as a weekly. And then of course 23 days on the 8-month chart with this type of candle. So are we going to see the same type of cycle like that that we saw in the past if we see this such a bearish close? So 23 chart, this month is going to be extremely important. This month candle right here is going to be important if we see a huge up candle, which is very likely, or if we're going to see it to close bearish. Why is it likely? It's because we're already trending upwards, guys, and also we're still in an uptrend on the 3-month and all the good stuff, right? So 23 days, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. We have to go to the weekly chart as well. Still a lot of resistance right here. It's just about like, are we going to close bullish or bearish? So let's talk about the 1-day chart. We're going to talk about the bulls and the bears. Here's the bulls and the bull cycle. So these are a little bit different numbers, as you can see. Okay, so nice little crossover that we got here, 21 and the 89. Trending upwards. The 5 is following with the price very nicely. So I mean, we can go all the way down to the 1-hour chart, and again we see a nice little trend upwards. Guys, this is a very awesome strategy. We can also go take a look at the 1-minute chart. This is actually in a downtrend right now, but I mean, we're on a 1-minute chart. Take a look at the 5-minute chart. You know, still in an uptrend, a little bit less reliable, not gonna lie. But yeah, like you got to make up your own rules when it comes to this trend right here. Like, you think this is gonna come up, go down? Because eventually it will go down, right? And when it comes to but I mean, maybe this thing is, Bitcoin is gonna really go upwards within the next in the near future, right? So anyways, this is Elliott wave, so don't forget about the rules of Elliott wave, that it can't really surpass the wave 1 by more than a wick. So this would be your stop loss and probably invalidation point and change of trend. Right here, I've been looking for a change of trend on the shorter term time frames anyways. So let's talk about the longer term time frames. So this is the chart that I was actually watching for a long time, because the 89 was at the bottom here and I saw this was coming down. So this was a perfect confluence of buying this moving average right here. At the time I was not trading, and I'm still not trading yet until about late August, September, because I'm still studying, wrapping up my rules and stuff like this. And I told myself that I wasn't gonna trade until I have all of my rules written down and I'm ready to trade and I'm disciplined enough to trade. But when it comes to technical analysis and looking and still studying the market and stuff like that, I am definitely going to help myself and others. I might as well make videos for you guys as well. So here's the 21 coming downwards, and I know a lot of people like these type of videos with the EMAs, so I'm definitely going to include that. I remember someone liked the gold one and S&P 500 when it comes to cycles and money flow, like money flowing in of the stock market, out of the stock market, into the gold market, into the crypto market. So that's how we're comparing it. So as you can see, we have, it's not really comparing apples to oranges, because especially in the gold market, yeah, not at all actually. So yeah, let's talk about the 21 that's right here. Tomorrow or today when it closes, we're going to just move up just a little bit. So this is probably going to be your bigger resistance, in my opinion. Not this wick, but this one right here. And also how we have 1, 2 candles, we're probably going to have 1 and then 1 more candle, probably like that, and then maybe close underneath it. We'll see. So we'll keep an eye on that one too. The 21 days a little bit harder because it never has the time here. unfortunately. But let's talk about the trend, because this is the bull chart. The 5's at the top right here with the wick as a resistance, and you have the 5 EMA. So I like this chart because of the fact that, well, you have this one pointing upwards, but this one here pointing downwards. Okay, this one here. I know it says that the August right here, the date, but even this one doesn't work most of the time. Look at this one, it says July. We're in August, we should be here, but it's not working. So a little bit unreliable chart, but it's still there, right? 34, we already covered that one. Next is the 89 in line. This one here tells us 47 days. So this one here, the moving average is pointing upwards, but the next candle is huge, but it's in 47 days. So we have an interest of what's going to happen within that time. So again, with the weekly chart, this one's a pretty cool chart as well, because you follow the 89. A lot of people like this chart as well. So for the 89, to give you an example of how this strategy works, you basically count the 16 bars. So it has 120 12 days. Yes, it's a lot. I can do it on the shorter time frame too. It doesn't really matter. So 16 bars, and then basically November is where you're going to be looking for a strong uptrend. So hopefully by then this thing's still going to consolidate, and this is going to start gaining steam right here by November, and it's bang, then it's time to see 200,000, you know, or 100,000. 100,000 is right here, but like 200,000, you know, is like over here. And it's possible if it keeps this moving average, this yellow one. This is how money algorithms kind of like, so I believe that the big banks are accumulating, right? And you should probably know that some people are accumulating Bitcoin and storing it, hoarding it, and also trending it on the moving averages. Because if you know the Bitcoin history and you go in BLX, it's never really broken any of these moving averages. So that's like strong trend, like almost ridiculous type trends, guys. Like the type of trends that it tells you that the exchanges don't have Bitcoin. You know what I mean? You know, people think that the exchanges have all kinds of Bitcoins, and I don't think it's true. I think they're missing the Bitcoins that they're saying that they have, and they definitely don't have enough Bitcoin to pay out all their futures contracts, because most of this is spot, right? This is Binance on spot, but you know, 2.33 million BTCs on average, right? This is the average. There's 21 million in existence. This is a 5-week chart. So let's continue in this video. We're going to talk strictly about the trend, okay? But yeah, this is what we want to think about. We want to think about big money. We want to think about the world economy. We want to think about what's going to cause this trend to continue, what's going to cause this trend to end. So this is the 5-week. Again, with the 21, we have to wait till it catches at the bottom, right? You guys get it? With the white moving average. With the 5, we have to wait till it gets to the bottom here, which is less time, but then it can start uptrending. That's why I think it might range for a little bit. So let's talk about the monthly chart. Same thing on the monthly chart. Next, but the 5 is going to be at the top here, which is going to be resistance. Is going to be in 23 days. Next is the 5-month chart. 5-month chart. I don't want to talk about 5-month chart because there's nothing much to talk about on it. Although, you know, we're going to be at the bottom here in 84 days. So again, let's talk about the bear market cycle, and then that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys like this strategy so far. It's really good for analysis and like timing and everything like that. When everything hits, you know, when all the stars align, it's a really good strategy. But on the smaller time frames, it's like if you don't know it, and if it's not like written down like a serious strategy, it's a little bit head-boggling, because you have to really account for all the time frames right here. So for example, this is a bearish trend, bearish cycle, sorry, but we're still bullish. So first things first, I'm going to take off the larger EMA because it's not really part of it right now. So let's continue here, guys. For the 1 day. So on the daily chart, I can actually zoom out here for you guys, but on the daily chart, we are above all the support resistances, but we are coming to the top right here. Sometimes it kind of is a reversal when it happens like that, but usually it's better when it's like that, like right here, and you're underneath a moving average. That's usually best. For example, we were right here, prices started coming down. I'm looking for a better example though. Right here, because it's not a very good trade for risk reward wise, it has to be much better than that. That's why we use the 13 instead, actually. So anyways, and then 3 here too. So obviously you see that the bear cycle is the smallest numbers, so it's going to be the most, the closest to the trend. You can see that everything is starting to cross over here on the 3-day. The 3-day is one of the bear cycle numbers. You've seen that we broke through this one right here. That's good, but it's still just a wick, right? We're looking for this guy right here, and that's why it's important to look at these charts. It's because the numbers are very, very good to be looking for. They're cycles, right? They're cycle numbers. So basically you're looking for a continuation over the moving averages with a close. Take a look at the 55-day chart. This is a really good important chart right now. You can see, because it closes in 13 hours. So the question is, are we going to close above or below this 3? Because if we close below this 3, it becomes supply, and that you actually are probably going to be aiming for another touch down here. But we'll see, because we can close above it. Let's talk about the weekly. The weekly chart here, 55 moving average is pointing. It's starting to point upwards, but it's a little bit slow for a couple more weeks. For about a week or two, it's going to start catching up. It should start catching up, and maybe we're in this trend right here, guys. Maybe we're in this trend right here. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 more, 6, 7, something like that. Okay. So next is about the 13 right here. The 13 is starting to curve up, and the 3 is starting to curve up as well. We have a lot of resistances right here, but again, it becomes this one right here when it comes to tomorrow. So right here is going to be the big resistance. See what I did here? So this one here, I would probably move it because it already is. This one right here becomes the big resistance tomorrow. Are we going to close below this resistance? I bet you we are. But if we won't, because of the 5-day chart that we already looked at, and the big candle that we're talking about, but I'd be really interested if we close below or above this specific candle low, because it's going to be important tomorrow, because this 13 is going to be right here. It's going to flip, and then it becomes this candle. That's the range that we're going to be after. So let's talk about the 3-week chart. This is a very important chart. We already know that because the lows are so good. Look at this candle, the reversal, the candle here. It's just a really good chart. The 3-month chart is really nice too. But yeah, it's looking decent, but we still have some resistance all here, right? So let's talk about the 13. The 13 looks decent. The 3 looks good. And you also want to take a look at the moving average, like how they're pointing. And also, guys, like if you trade with EMAs and you know how the time frames work, look for this. These are bot algorithms fighting for this trend. So you have to know that's big money algos. You'll see in these cycles how often this happens, that they fight for this exact move right here. So they cross over and then they start buying, closing their shorts or whatever it is. And then it saves the trend. It's amazing. It really is amazing. So let's talk about the. I can go a little bit higher in the to 13 weeks, but I'm not going to. Let's talk about the monthly. The monthlies are always nice because universally known. And 23 days again to close. 3-month chart. This one's nice. Cyclical. The 3 is right here. 53 days to go to the top right here, and I wonder if it's going to be like a bullish, bull flag type thing. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the markets right now, guys. And like I said, you can use this on a lower time frame or on a higher time frames. It's all good, but again, on the lower time frames, you're going to be chopped out, and you're going to have to want to, learn the strategy. I like Fibonacci more for day trading personally, but these are really good for uptrends and when you just want to be a little bit more passive, So yeah, let's talk about the daily and the weekly coming up. That's going to be really good stuff, and I hope you guys like this video, guys. Okay. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, guys. We're trying to grow a great channel in Discord. If you guys want to be in the Discord, let me know, and I will definitely send you an invite if you have an account. Right? Peace.